Welcome to Sips with Scrubs, a nurse podcast where we talk about the good, bad, and ugly of being a nurse. I'm your host, Nurse Laney. And for new listeners, this is supposed to be a safe space for nurses to be able to share their experiences, get advice, just tell you guys about different things of that sort, of what we're going through, what we think about things, what we could possibly do better, and things of that nature. So today I am coming to you guys to discuss kind of like where I'm at right now in my nursing career and things of that nature. So if you are interested, then keep listening. I will be sipping on water throughout today's episode if I have a chance to sip anything. We're kind of short on time. It's going to be like a little mini sip, a shot, if you will. Yes, because I'm actually going to be meeting Kelsey, who, if you've been listening or watching the videos on YouTube, I'm actually going to be meeting her for lunch in a bit, so we don't have that much time. And also, I just want to share some things with you guys that I'm going to be talking to her about too. So it's kind of like in the same vein, and that's really what inspired this shot of an episode, okay? So we ain't got long we go be here, so we ain't go do all of the different segments I normally would do on the show, but I am going to read a conversation card. If I feel like I've read one of these before, I'm like gonna try to get another one because I hate talking about the same thing. Even though sometimes I like to revisit some things because things change, but you know. Okay, I've said that one before, or we've talked about that one before. Okay, this card says if you are a person of color, how has that impacted your nursing experience? If not, how has that impacted your nursing experience? So, obviously, I'm a person of color. I am black. For those who are just listening and can't see what I look like, I'm black gay. Like not mixed with nothing, just like black. Okay, like you look at me. Well, some people get confused on my ethnicity, but I'm black. Like I feel like I look black. So I will say I am of lighter complexion, so I feel like my experience is not the same as everyone. Of course, everybody's experience is different from one another, but I think I'm kind of like racially ambiguous at times to other people. Like I feel like some people could tell I'm black, and I think some people get me like confused as an Afro Latina or like mixed race or things of that sort. So I don't know if that played a part in my experience, which I'm sure it has because I feel like everything is integrated and everything connects. But I'm just sharing you my experience, right? So, in a lot of the different units that I've worked on throughout the years, I've been a nurse for 5 years for people who are new here. I've been few of black girls and especially my age too. And a lot of times, if there are older nurses, they're African, they're not black, so their experience is also a little different. So yeah, like I was saying, all the units I've worked on has not been that many black girls. So I do feel like it has played a part in my nursing experience in regards to patients as well as staff. I don't know if it's because of some things are preconceived like within us, so we feel more triggered by it, or if it's like actually happening. So sometimes I have to kind of be like careful before I jump the gun because I feel like sometimes if you are like, I don't want to say targeted, but if you experience some things or if there's some type of prejudices about your race, I feel like you're more like aware, like you notice them more. So it's like I don't know if people are actually like doing that or like if I'm just like picking that out of what people are doing because I am black. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't really have time to really try to get into it too much. As I said, this is a shot of an episode. So a lot of times I have to kind of be careful about like if I'm perceiving this to be true or if this is like me thinking that people are thinking that because I'm black. So an example of that would be like I feel like I'm very outspoken. I feel like I'm very opinionated. I don't know, like I don't feel like I'm like normally like angry, especially at work. I don't really get like irritable and stuff. People kind of see different sides of me because I'm really just trying to take care of the patient. So at work, when I do express my opinion, because a lot of times I'm the one who initiates conversation in regards to changes that need to be made on the unit or things I don't like, which a lot of people may be in agreement with me, but they don't verbalize it. So it always comes off as it could be perceived that I'm the only one feeling this way or I'm the only one that has something to say about it because I am the only one saying something about it. So I don't feel like this impacted my nursing experience negatively. I think more so with me, it's impacted how I operate and move because I don't want to be perceived that way. So sometimes I don't speak up on things that, like, I really want to speak up on a lot of things. I already speak up on a not a lot, but I think I end up choosing my battles and what I will speak on and what I won't because of I don't want to be perceived as like the angry black woman type of thing. So I think that me being a person of color has impacted how I move in my nursing experience. I don't think that I've had like any discrimination in regards to how other people act towards me. As far as like staff members, I haven't had too many times with patients. I feel like they try to bring up more conversations to be relatable to you because you are black or whatever, and they're trying to like relate. And I don't think people do a good job of that. It's kind of like on that movie with Jonah Hill and Lauren London when they try to bring up some like the white people try to bring up a certain type of conversation because you are black. Like sometimes there'll be like political stuff playing on the TV and they try to relate, and it's just like, please stop, you're just making it worse. But I say in the broad stroke of things, it's not really impacted me personally, more so like how I move because I don't want to be perceived as what people be trying to say about us. I think I'm more careful about how I say things and how I do things because I don't want to come off like that, which I shouldn't have to do. But this is the world we live in, right? So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today and what I'll be talking about with Kelsey later today at lunch is kind of where I'm at in my nursing journey. If you guys are not familiar with me, I'm sure in one of these episodes, if you keep listening, I'll give you a quick rundown. But like I've been saying throughout these couple of minutes, I am short on time. So right now, I'm going to just talk about where I'm currently at, not where I've been. So now I've been a nurse for 5 years, currently in float pool. So I travel to different hospitals within the same network and I get to choose three of my choosing of the locations. So currently I'm doing that. I'm making a lot of money doing it and I'm like pleased with it. So I'm kind of one of the people that like to think about like how do I feel about things? Where do I want to be in the next couple of years? Where can I see myself going and things like that? And I don't know what triggered this thought. But we'll talk about the current and then we'll go and talk about the future because they're intertwined. Currently, like I said, I'm satisfied. A new problem has presented itself, or not really a problem, but like a decision to be made, is because when I first started off at this float pool, I was an IMU nurse and they only had med surg specialty or ICU specialty. So when I asked them about the IMU specialty and who would be working those units if they're short, they said the ICU nurses would be the ones to go down a level of care and take care of the IMU patients if the ICU is staffed. So I could only do med surg as an IMU nurse. I haven't been working IMU in the last year because I've been doing this job for a year. And like I said, it's really new. I kind of came in like maybe there was no leadership in place or anything when I first started this job. That's how new of a thing it was. So when I got there, that's what I did. I've been doing med surg and it's cool. And because this hospital system is like nice, the nurse to patient ratio is not bad. Like the most patients I've ever gotten on the med surg unit is 5, which is good compared to some other places. And also because of where I've come from, I've taken like 5 was the normal, 6 was like the extra. Now over here, it's kind of like 4 is like hit and miss in general. And then I would say 5 is kind of like more normal, but you can get 4. And since I am staffing units, I end up making them 4-to-1. So lately I've been 4-to-1 with med surg patients. So that's been working for me because that was one of the things I didn't like about med surg was that it was too many patients. And I didn't feel like I could take good care of them with them being too many. Like somebody was going to get neglected is how I felt, or not given the same care. Now, I do feel like some patients don't require the same amount of care as others, but I still like to be able to check on my people with the same type of energy. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't like med surg. And at the time, I wanted to have like more complicated patients. I wanted to learn more. I was still newer back then. So I did IMU. So that was perfect. It was a lower nurse to patient ratios, 3-to-1, sometimes 4-to-1, and then more complex patients. Well, where I'm at now, I'm kind of like, do I want to like introduce that back into my life? Like right now, I'm like 4 to 1 a lot of the times. I have less complicated patients. I already have the added element of floating. So I don't always know like where I'm going or who these people are or the teamwork or things like that. So I have to kind of be independent. And then if something does go wrong, I need to be capable in my nursing skills because of that type of situation. So I'm kind of like, do I want to introduce IMU back into my nursing practice with the extra added stuff that float pool brings, since I don't know the people. I don't know. I'm not as familiar with the doctors. I'm not as familiar with their policies and things like that. Like, do I want to do that right now? Or do I want to stay where I'm at, where I'm already content and I'm comfortable? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I've been doing this for a year. So I say that because they introduced the idea of like, if you have IMU experience, let us know what it is and we'll get you like the checkoff list, and then like you can start working IMU as well. So I'm kind of like, do I want to even do that or not? So that's part of what me and Kelsey are going to talk about today. And some of the things, like I've said, is the reasons why I don't is because you have the added element. You don't know the teamwork. You don't know the doctors. You don't know the policy changes. I've been out of the practice for a year, so it's kind of like I'd be starting like a little bit fresher. I mean, like not remembering some things because I haven't had to do it. I'm not as used to emergency situations as I used to be. And that's another thing. Do I want to add that extra stress in my life? Because now you have the added pressure of maybe this patient will go to ICU, maybe this patient will downgrade and then you'll get somebody else, or maybe this patient will come in as a train wreck, because when you admit to IMU, like they're sick and electrolytes all over the place, everything's all over the place, you're trying to get them stable. Or is this person like going to die? Like those are the different type of possibilities you have in IMU, whereas in med surg that happens like way less frequently. So I'm kind of just like, do I want to do that or not? Like, and then like, I'm like, do I want to tell them? Like, I already told them I had experience, but do I want to like go through with the training? And then like, cause at first I kind of debated, do I want to go through with the training and then like do an orientation on the units and then see if I like it. And if I don't do it. And I don't think they can really tell you like you have to do it, but I don't want to show them that I'm qualified for something and they end up putting me there even though I communicated to them I don't want to do it anymore, because that can happen too. And then it's like, what, I'm gonna just miss my shift and like have to call in because you assigned me to a unit I told you I didn't want to be assigned to. Like, I don't want it to be an issue. Like right now they can't put me in IMU, I about to say legally, but like you can't put me there because I haven't done the checkoffs and all that stuff to show that I'm certified to be able to take care of these patients. So I don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to get to the point where it's like I do all this stuff, I get there, I don't really care for it, and then I don't want to do it anymore. And they keep ended up assigning me that even though I've communicated I don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? And like nursing is kind of janky. Like you have to continually fight and be like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Like, and I'm like, am I trying to do all that? And right now it's giving no. But that's part of the things I'm going to talk about with Kelsey today. So we'll see like how I feel about it. I'm going to meditate on some more because that's not a decision that has to be made now, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. Right now I'm comfortable, but it's like going forward, what do I want to do? And then also another thing that I've been contemplating is like, where do I want to go after float pool? Because I don't think I'm going to do float pool forever. Now, initially, I thought I couldn't do bedside like any more than I was already doing it, but I like it. Like, I like the hospital. I like the patients. I like, taking care of the people. I like catching stuff and like telling them like, oh, do you want to do this? You want to do that? Like, I like being competent. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a service and I feel like I'm like meeting the needs. I feel like a lot of times that nurses get to a certain point and they move away from the bedside, which is no fault of them, but I feel like it should be some experienced nurses on the unit that like know what to do with the patients. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be all new people. So I don't think I'm going to like move from bedside anytime soon. I think I'm definitely going to stay float pool for a while because the whole reason why I got this job is because it's so flexible. I can do anything I want with my schedule. I don't have to work that many holidays. I don't have to work that many weekends. So that's part of the reason why I got it. And I thought that was an ideal situation. Should me and Jordan start a family, I'd have more time on my hands to spend with them, which is what I would want to do if I was to become a mom. So that's where I'm at now, and I feel like that's going to be where I'm at for some years, maybe at least until like they in school. But after that, I'm kind of like, what do I want to do? And I'm thinking now that I want to maybe, I've already kind of contemplated, like, do I want to be like a permanent charge nurse or anything like that? Because I do have nurse experience. And the thought came out of nowhere, but I was just kind of like, I feel like I'm going to have to create the environment that I want on the unit for it to be what I want it to be. Like, I don't think like there may be a unit out there that functions the way I would like it to function, but like the odds of finding that, and then like, you know, kind of like false advertisement, people will tell you it's something, and you get there, you committed yourself to this job, you do the orientation, and then it's like not giving what it's supposed to give. I feel like as a charge nurse, you got more leeway to create the environment that you want to create. I don't think you're able to really cultivate that as much as a staff nurse. Whereas if you're the charge nurse, you're able to set the precedent, like, this is what I expect for my nurses on this unit. This is what I'm willing to do for you, and this is what this should be. Like, I feel like units should be teamwork. I feel like it should be an environment where new nurses feel safe to learn. I feel like the older experienced nurses should help out the newer, less experienced nurses if they can. If they can't, understandable, but you should be willing is the whole point. I feel like you shouldn't have to beg people for help to turn patients or to clean patients. Like, I just feel like it don't have to be family. Like, we don't got to link up after work, but it should be a safe space. Essentially, you shouldn't be scared to go up to somebody and ask them for their opinion on something or help for anything. I don't think that the charge nurse should be the only resource on the unit where people could go to, because that can be exhausting as well. So I feel like to have like that type of environment, I may have to create it. I mean, if I could find one already like that out there, hey, that's cool too. But right now, I'm not interested in that because I'm not trying to take a pay cut and what's it called? A pay cut and lose my flexibility. But I feel like maybe later down the line I would be a little more inclined to do that, because like having a team and knowing where you're going and knowing where, like, this is the day I gotta work and things like that, I think that's like not comparable in some instances. And I feel like it's like I said, just like more stable environment. Like, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. Obviously, that's why I'm kind of just like going back and forth. Like, I can see both sides. So that's some of the conversation we're going to be having today. So I don't know. I guess whenever I decide what I want to decide, I'll come back and let you guys know how it's going or whatever. But y'all let me know down below in the comments what y'all think about the whole situation. Like, I guess it's really just personal preference, right? So I just really have to decide, like, what do I want to do type of thing. So I'm going to take my time and meditate on it, because I don't, like I said, these aren't decisions that have to be made now, but I think it's important, like, for you to think about things before you get to them, so it doesn't seem like it's like a rush decision or like a snap decision and you end up regretting it and then having to find out something else. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's little shot of an episode. I ain't even drink my water, but I will, because y'all know I'm on my health and fitness journey. So I've already drank one of these today, and I think this one's about halfway full. So I'm going to take this with me in the car and drink some of it. Well, I get out of here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, especially if you made it towards the end. Comment down below y'all thoughts on the topic, because y'all don't be talking back, and I want y'all to talk back. Okay, I want y'all thoughts too. I ain't just talking to myself. Like, what? So go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. If you guys are on YouTube, if you're listening on the podcast, go ahead and leave a review, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.